So I'm sure you've heard the saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And I think we can agree, for the most part. I mean, not for the most part, it's just a true thing because the first impression is the first impression. And there's only one chance to do it. But we live in a world where people will come to certain conclusions about you and you to others just based off what they see, based off their first engagement with you, right? And we may not always be aware of how we come across to others. May not always be aware of the things that others will notice first in us. And specifically as a woman, what a man will notice first in you. All right. And now some of you might say, well, I don't care. I don't give a damn what these men notice first. Okay, I get it. I understand. Okay. But listen, I think if you desire a relationship in any way, and even if right now you may not be in the mindset of I want one at the moment, there's a very good chance you will at some point. And I think it's good for you to be aware of what things are going to play into that first impression. What is noticed initially from a man, and how that can either help or hurt you in the process of dating. But also, these things can have an impact in other aspects of your life. So let's get to it. So, one of the things that men will notice first in a woman is your smile or lack of one. All right. Now, I know some of y'all sucked your teeth and, and rolled your eyes because I know many of you have experienced the whole having a man telling you to smile or why don't you smile? And you're like, what the hell is your problem? What makes you think you can tell me to smile? Like, I get it. It can be annoying for many of you, right? So it may be annoying to have me bring this up. But, I love y'all. And I got to be real with y'all. Smiling matters, okay? There's a study that shows women are found more attractive when they smile. Smiling is inviting. Smiling makes you more approachable. It makes you seem more friendly. All these wonderful things. And therefore, it can create more opportunities for you or have people receive you in a more positive light, right? Now, I know some of you have what some call resting bee face. I'm not going to use the whole word, but most of y'all know what I'm talking about. Resting bee face, right? And I always say on the tour, I always joke around and say, listen, if you're using your resting bee face, or what I like to say, your mean mug, right? Your scowled up, frowned up face, because you don't want to be dealing with these men. You don't want anyone to touch you, approach you, well, touch you too, but you don't want any of that attention, right? Then cool. I get it. I understand. But you can't be doing that and then say to me, why aren't men approaching me? Why aren't I meeting any good men? Why is dating so hard? Because you look difficult. That's why. Like you walking around looking unhappy, you look difficult, or you look like you don't want to be bothered, right? And so why would a man, and more specifically, a man who is seriously interested in a real potential relationship, why would he want to approach you? See, the guys who just want to have fun with you, who just want to sleep with you, they don't care. They don't care how you're walking around, how you're looking, what kind of energy you're giving off, which we'll talk about a little bit later, because all they see is what is physically appealing to them, right? Or what they view as a target for whatever reason, and they want to go after it. All right. And they're not deterred by your lack of a smile. Not to mention, the good, nice guy who's genuine about a relationship sees your lack of a smile, sees maybe you are in a mood or you're giving off a mood that says, I don't want to be bothered. And out of respect, he's not going to approach you. He's like, all right, let me just leave her alone. Whereas the guy who, again, doesn't care because it's all about what he's looking for, will just talk to you anyway, will invade your privacy, will not even consider that you may not be in a place to want to entertain conversation. But the bottom line is, smiling is good. Now, I know many women will say to me, I just don't smile, Stephan. I'm not even trying to look this way. It's just how it is. I'm not even realizing it. I get it. I understand. But I always say, Smiling is easy when you're at peace from within. So if you struggle to smile, what are you stressing about? What haven't you let go? What are you holding on to? What are you overthinking and overanalyzing? Because chances are that's why you don't smile as much naturally. When you are happier, when you are more at peace, it will just come out of you. It will radiate from you, okay? And you won't struggle with this anymore. So to me, don't just be comfortable with the whole, I just don't smile. Go deeper. Why? Why am I not smiling? Why am I not coming across that way? Okay. And again, understand that this is, even though we're talking about the things that men notice first, all these things I'm going to mention are going to be good for you. Because understand when you smile, like I'll give an example real quick for myself. Because even me as a man, though there are studies that say men are found more attractive when we're not smiling like that. But I can say like there's times where I'll come out the gym and people have seen me in the street and say, you look mean. And they were afraid to approach me. And I'm like, yo, I'm super friendly. I'll give anyone my time if they come to me in the street. But I get it. I'm walking out, I'm tense from the workout, and I haven't relaxed myself. I haven't relaxed my muscles, my mind, and now that gives off a certain aura. And so when you're not smiling again, or when you do smile, it's not just about how people receive you, but it's also about how you're feeling, how it allows you to relax. It brings you peace by putting a smile on your face. And maybe it's looking at things that will help you smile. Like I'm a big believer in, I don't watch stressful drama and nonsense on TV. When I do watch TV, which is very rare, it's comedy. It's only thing that's gonna make me laugh and smile. And I always notice because you give off certain, I believe, hormones. I might be saying it wrong, but there's some kind of chemical reaction from smiling and laughing that just makes you feel good. So it's gonna be good for you, but it definitely plays into one of the things that men will notice first about you. All right, so another thing that men will notice first on you or about you is how you are dressed. Now, this can be a sensitive topic because people see this differently depending on who they are. And I'm not here to tell you how you should be dressing, okay? If anything, the way you should be dressing is what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable, what's gonna allow you to feel good. That's what I really want for you, right? But let's be real. People are going to maybe draw certain conclusions or perceive you a certain kind of way based on how you're dressed. And I think it's good to just be aware and understand that. And I don't think we need to be mad if people want to jump to certain conclusions because of how we're dressed. And this is why it can become a sensitive topic because let's be real, there are some men out there who can be very judgmental, right? And if you're wearing, and not just men, other women, but if you're wearing provocative clothing, right, some people are going to jump to certain conclusions, okay? They're going to perceive you a certain kind of way, and that might dictate, if they do approach you, how they will approach you, okay? On the other hand, dressing maybe super conservative can then give off the perception of, well, that you're this very conservative woman and that might not work for some other guys. And that's why I don't want you focused so much on how they will perceive it. I want you first to focus on what you feel good in and understand that everyone's not going to agree with it. Because I'm going to tell you on the flip side, like, and I'm just being honest here, and some of y'all may judge me for it, but I don't mind the provocative clothes. And I'm not saying that like I'm just trying to get every woman to walk around half naked. What I'm saying is like, even in my own, if I'm in a relationship, I'm not one of those guys that's like, my woman has to dress super conservative because you're with me now. That's just not how I am. I don't know why, but I'm just not like that. I don't mind. I don't mind a little sexiness. You know what I'm saying? A little extra sexy. Now, of course, there's a line. Don't get me wrong. There is a line. But my line might be a little more further out than some other people. Okay? And so I think it's important for you as a woman is like, and of course, in life, we're going to have different places that we're dressed different ways, right? And that's why, again, it's all about just doing what feels good to you, doing what you like, because you want a guy who's again, accepting of that, whatever it is. Whether it's okay, he accepts your conservative dressing ways, or he accepts your sexy dressing ways, whatever it is, he's good, and you guys are on the same page about it. But understand that, again, when we're in certain environments, how we're dressed is going to be is going to contribute to how people view us, how people approach us, all these different things. So I don't want you to dwell on it too much, but it is something I had to mention because it is, in fact, one of those things that men will notice first about you. All right. So here's another thing men will notice first about you, or first on the woman, and that is your energy or your spirit that you're giving off. Now, we talked about this in the beginning of this video, but there's a quote that says, your energy introduces you before you even speak. And I think a lot of people underestimate how impactful their energy, their spirit is in how people receive or perceive you, and how that affects a lot of scenarios and situations for individuals. Because just to help give it more context and give more understanding to it, think about, even in a moment where, have you ever spoke to someone and they're speaking to you very calm, they're being very proper, but you can still feel the stankness coming off their body. You can still feel this attitude, this passive aggressiveness. So you still want to reach over and knock them out one good time, because even though their words are not saying anything bad, their energy or their spirit is attacking you. All right. And it can cause you to get defensive. Well, the reality is that many times you may have done the same thing, where you think, I'm being cool, I'm being calm, but in reality, your energy, your spirit is saying something completely different. Okay. And this is in my spirit, I gotta say it. This is what creates also a huge disconnect for some women in regards to the reality of being feminine versus being perceived as feminine. All right. What I mean by that is this. I'll have a lot of women say to me, Stephan, I am feminine in a relationship. I'm very this, I'm very that. I do all these things. I'm sweet, I'm loving. Great, right? But can't seem to meet masculine men, only seem to meet men who are trying to leech off them, who good for nothing, doesn't honor them in that way, doesn't make them feel comfortable resting in their feminine energy, so to speak, right? And what I have to explain to them is, yes, you may be feminine at your core, and you know how to be feminine in a relationship, but your energy and spirit does not give off femininity. And because of that, the masculine man, the man who could honor that side of you, who can pour into that, won't even approach you. So essentially, if I'm passing by you in the street, or if I'm working with you at the office, or whatever the case may be, and you come off very hardened, masculine, negative, whatever, I'm not going to know you have this feminine side of you that you know how to tap into. You see what I'm saying? And not only will I not know, because some of you might say, well, if they would get to know me, well, here's what I always say to women. That's like a man saying, that's like a man walking around looking broke, looking homeless, and saying, well, if women just got to know me, they would know I have some money. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to present yourself as such if you expect them to understand that you possess such a quality, right? Because nobody got time to be sitting and trying to discover every person, because no one's guaranteed what they're going to find if they try to push through that. So if you're giving off masculine, or if you're giving off negative or whatever, well, most people are just going to assume that's just who you are. And the reality is that you do the same with other people. Because we don't have time to sit down with every individual that catches our eye if what they're giving us in energy and spirit is not what we like. Plain and simple. So it's important to get that into alignment of, okay, if this is who you are, how do we start to exude that? How do we start to tap into that in everyday life so people can see that in you, see that you possess that quality? And lo and behold, smiling is one of those ways. Like, just the smiling helps. That smiling will help you exude more of that feminine energy. But also, it's not just being feminine, it's being positive. And I personally believe, like, feminine energy and positive energy, they kind of go together. Like, I'll say this: typically, a woman who comes across very positive and loving is not going to come across anything but feminine. She's not going to be viewed in an opposite way. So to me, positivity, even if you say, I don't know how to be feminine, right? And I got other videos on the feminine stuff and I got more stuff coming, but you should know how to be positive, right? I think you can at least start from there, because that will still help you exude the right type of energy and spirit that you need. And again, I have to remind you, this isn't just about how men will receive or perceive you. This is going to benefit you in all ways. Quick example, I had a client many years ago who was like the head doctor of the hospital, or the manager. She basically ran this place. And when she came to me, she was discouraged with men, ready to give up. Um, there's a lot more to the story, but the bottom line is she carried a lot of masculine energy, okay? And the people that worked did not like her. And we worked on that. We did some healing. We got her to tap into her feminine energy, her positive energy. And literally, she went from people not liking her at work to people always being willing to help her, being more accommodating, being more pleasant and friendly. Like, it completely changed her work environment for her. Then it also turned into her meeting a man. And now I can say proudly, she is married to a man that she met in that process. Okay. It works. It works. It has an amazing impact. But again, it's not just about the man, it's about you, your quality of life, and how much better you will feel when you start to tap into and exude that more positive, loving, feminine energy more consistently in your life. All right, so before I get to the next one, real quick, I want you to join my text club today. It's a special little membership group I have. It's only $5 a month, and it's going to give you inspirational messages and videos from me and bonus content. And you're really going to enjoy it and find it beneficial. It's going to help pour into you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And part of the proceeds are going to go to my Healing Generations Foundation, my nonprofit organization that aims to provide low cost and free therapy, coaching, and many other services to all. I'm striving to make a lot of great big moves with this foundation. So definitely, by joining the text club, you'll be helping the nonprofit. So go click the link below in the description or in the comment section and make sure you join today. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So, one of the most popular questions or topics that people search for on YouTube is how to make a man miss you. All right. Now, if you've been following me or watching my previous videos,